Wuthering Waves, a gacha game that has been out for 1 year as a recording of this video, June 2025. A game that exploded onto the scene. But now the question begs, should you play Wuthering Waves in 2025? I recently started maining this game on my live streams, both on Twitch and YouTube, with a lot of people asking, what is this game? Should I download this game? Can you help me? Explain this to me. Let's start off by talking about what is Wuthering Waves. Now, the best way to describe Wuthering Waves is an anime Dark Soul Elden Ring style where dodging and parrying are important. Now, it's not necessarily anime as in cartoonish, but more anime as in like a Final Fantasy style anime. Understanding combos and know when to tag in to tag out. Interaction of team building. Another thing that's really nice is your free movement. Being able to actually move around in an open world without really having to worry about stamina. It is really tough to enjoy open world games that when you first start off, your stamina level is so low that you can barely run 10 steps without having to take a break and waiting for it to refill. Now that same stamina bar will be used also for not just running around and walking around, but also for climbing as well. It doesn't give you mounts like any other open world does, but what this game does, it gives you unlimited stamina unless you get into a battle. When you're climbing up a rock or a mountain, you do use some stamina, but you are also able to run up the mountain, not just climb. There's gliding, there's grapple hooks, and when you get to a certain point, there's even flying in this game. It's a pretty generous gacha game. Trying to go after new limited characters is always a 50-50 chance, but when going for their weapon is 100% guaranteed to get that weapon. Unlike some gacha games where you can be lucky and win 2 in a row and they force you to lose the third one, you can be lucky as possible and have 8 in a row and you can have that opportunity. Another thing that's really good is their cinematic and their soundtrack. Even have professional people who produce music also enjoying the music and the soundtrack that come out of this game. When taking on a boss, you do have to learn their combat system. When learning when to dodge, when to parry, and rewarding you for parrying by stunning the enemy. By knowing when to tag in and to tag out to your other characters. This game brings a much heavy action-packed experience, and it actually rewards you for learning your enemies' patterns. Alright, now some of the possible negative things that could be something that newer players can experience and have some issues with. One is understanding the ecosystem. Now, unlike any other RPG game where you have gear, helmet, chest, shoulders, legs, and boots, here you do not have that such a thing. You have what is called the ecosystem. Now, echoes are monsters you find out in the open world that you can collect, and they have their own stats and their own element bonus as well. Now, you go and catch them pretty much like a Pokemon, and just like Pokemon, there is a Pokedex that is called Data Bank. Understanding both the ecosystem and how the gear works, in a sense, you can also, when you're done farming any echoes in your specific location and there's no more in your server, you can always go and reach out to some friends and join on their island. This is a single player that you can also play co-op, so you can join your friends if you guys are all echo farming. That also plays a factor. Understanding your data bank can be confusing. Just like we mentioned, it is pretty much like the Pokedex and being able to unlock the character, them all unlocked, and understanding that having the data bank at max level is where you really want to be, because then you will have guaranteed purples and golds. And once you get to a certain level of your data bank, you would have constantly only gold dropping. So maxing out and collecting all of them is extremely important. Also, understanding your character can be a little bit of a hiccup for a lot of people. Understanding what the traces are and how the kit works can be daunting. With the UI could be a little confusing as well. Now, they do a pretty good job in the beginning, from what I remember a year ago, explaining how to tag in, when you want to tag out with certain cues and audible sounds. Understanding the UI can be a little of a challenge. Understanding you have skill, ultimate, your basic attack, jump attack. You can use your grappling hook, your outro, your intro, your forte circuit. All of that can be very confusing, especially since every character can change and all their mechanic can also change. Knowing that certain skills have an additional skill, not just a one-time use. Understanding when to use your forte circuit and how to build your forte circuit. A lot of that can be confusing. When you start to unlock the new areas, also the story and the cinematics get better. There are more layers to the story, but in the very beginning, it takes some time to really enjoy the story. You might find yourself 10 hours in and be like, wait, what is the echo set bonus effect again? Because the game doesn't really tell you that, and you're kind of expected to understand. Overall, should you play the game? I think Wuthering Waves does a really good job to both focus on the free-to-play players and also those who want to spend money. If you happen to go with the free-to-play option, which is what I would always recommend, try the game out. It is a free game. You can play the game without having to spend any money and enjoy it. The teams that you can get and create is really good. The main character you can use is also really good. As you continue to progress and understand, you will start to see how good the gameplay actually is, and is very casual friendly when exploring. Now, in the very beginning, you do not have flight available, unfortunately, so you will have to use your sprint. Like we mentioned before, sprinting in this game is unlimited unless you are caught in a battle. When climbing and running up a mountain or side of a ledge, you will use stamina, but any other time you are not using stamina. Now, when you are in battle, you will be dodging periodically, and when you do dodge, you will be using stamina, but very rarely do you have an issue with stamina when exploring the actual map. And like mentioned earlier, stamina when it comes to an open world game is really pointless when you have a lot of games out there that they will give you a mount or a vehicle or something to be able to explore a little bit better. In this case, they do give you in the beginning. They do in this case give you unlimited stamina, like we mentioned, and a grapple hook that you can also use as well. But as you progress a little bit further, you'll be able to unlock flying. Currently, flying might be tied to a specific location, only in that location. As future updates, we don't know if they will continue to open that avenue up for other locations as well. One thing I would love them to do is allow flying to also be in the earlier stage of the game, so that newer players can also get a chance to enjoy that as well. Here's to hoping. If you love theory crafting, free open world movement, not hindered by stamina, fighting giant monsters with anime sword, this might be your next obsession. As a game that is free to play, I think is worth anyone to give this a shot. So like we mentioned in the beginning, should you play Wuthering Waves in 2025? If you're down for some gorgeous visuals, amazing combat, a really robust open world, then this is your game. Then absolutely you should play. There are some things that you might need to understand, like we mentioned in the bad section, which I'm hoping to make some guides on that as well. Now, if you're already playing Wuthering Waves, let me know in the comments down below. Are you loving it? Are you taking a pause? Are you coming back now? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll be making more Wuthering Wave content, so hit that subscribe button. And I'm Reckless, and I'm out.